Welcome to Inside the Islanders. I'm George Matthews. With us, Kameron Kielly off the Charlottetown Islanders, a hard-working, dedicated centerman for the Islanders. And, of course, Kameron, this is, along with your family, a pretty special week. Of course, if you look back at your development as a hockey player, you've been focused on getting to the highest level that you possibly can play at. And this week, of course, the NHL Draft is taking place in Sunrise, Florida on Friday, June the 26th and 27th. This is a weekend that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, obviously it's what I worked for since I was a kid and, started playing the game of hockey. It should be a fun weekend to be a part of, along with teammates Daniel Sprong and Philip Sopik, who are already there. But I'm staying home to, enjoy it with my family and have some friends over and kind of take in the whole experience.
And as we do several of these interviews, a huge part of your development, obviously, is the dedication and the hard work that you dedicated to the game, but your family was a huge part of it as well.
Yes, they've sacrificed a lot over the years, obviously, to get me where I am today, whether it's the early morning practices or the financial part of it. They've always been there for me, and if it works out on Saturday, it'll be a huge, boost or, kind of reward for them to see me pay off and see it pay off for them as well.
We've said already in this interview that you're a very dedicated player, very hardworking player. Here in North America, NHL Central Scouting has you rated at number 83 overall, which means Saturday, you've talked about this already, but Saturday looks to be the biggest day for you.
Yeah, not really expected to go in the first round. I don't think anyone sees that as well. So anywhere from Saturday, I think I can fall. But like I said, anything can happen that day, and don't really know what to expect. Just going to try and enjoy the whole experience.
Now, the NHL has a combine, and it's been in Toronto for a number of years. This year it was in Buffalo in the early part of June. Lots of measurement taking place there. I've got you listed at 6'1", 183. At the combine, are those numbers accurate?
Yes.
Now, that combine, of course, there's a physical element to it as well as a mental element. But walk us through the experience that you felt you had at this combine in Buffalo. Yeah,
the combine was a great experience for me. It was fun to see the top-end players walking around, Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel. Media is always around them, so it's fun to see how they handle themselves in that kind of situations. But, yeah, there was 2 days of real tough physical days where we went through the testing. Everyone knows the Wingate is probably the toughest test, and that was on the final day, on the Saturday. So, it's real hard on the body the last 2 days, and the 5 days heading in before that is real tough on the mental side of it with the meetings and the intimidation factor with 30 scouts or the GM in the room asking you, throwing questions at you left, right, and center, and sometimes they're not the easiest questions.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but it's got to be intimidating. I mean, after all, you're 18 and you're not 48. So obviously, but when you look at that combine and you interview with a number of teams, but this combine, only 100 skaters invited to it. And, of course, it has been talked about for now over 12 months. This is, you've got generational talents at the very top two positions. But past that, this draft is considered to be one of the deepest in a decade or more. You're part of that. That's going to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's certainly a confidence boost for me. Getting invited in March, I think, was a big impact on me and kind of a little extra motivation to keep kicking here and see what can happen in June. But, yeah, it's certainly special to be a part of, knowing how deep this draft is. And certainly those top two guys are probably going to be the two best players in the world someday.
Of course, years past, the offseason, not that it was all beer and pizza for NHL players, but they certainly don't work at it now, like the commitment of at least 11 months a year to be an NHL player. We talked about the combine and the physical part for you, Kameron Kielly, but there was also the mental part, and that seems to play a role now, the compete level and what you're willing to do, how far you'll push to go through the wall. It seems like a lot of NHL teams want to measure that now. What were some of the was there a question or two that you found more difficult than others as far as the going through the mental exercise of the combine was concerned?
Yeah, certainly. There was hard questions about your game or your lifestyle, but there was weird questions like, would you rather be a rock or a stick of glue, where you just kind of look at him again as if he asked us kind of thing. but it's just all psychological and how you, I guess, they take your answer and kind of see the result, or have someone who compares your answer to something else. But yeah, certainly some questions you shake your head at and don't really know if you really asked that.
Yeah, so that would be different. As far as NHL teams that you interviewed with, how many do you get a better feel for? Perhaps one or two or three teams as compared to others, as far as their interest level is concerned?
I'm not really sure. I met with, I think, 9 or 10 down at the Combine, and I talked to 25 throughout the year. So I'm not really sure what to expect. The meetings are relatively the same. I thought St. Louis Blues showed a lot of interest, but that's just me personally. So honestly, I don't really know what to expect, and the door's wide open. Whatever. Just going to strive forward and run with it.
Kameron, your effort and your dedication certainly makes it look possible that you can work your way into the pro fields of a player, whether it's the NHL or not. Only time will tell, but you certainly are dedicated. There's no doubt about that. Good luck this weekend with the draft in Sunrise, Florida, and we look forward to seeing you at training camp here with the Charlottetown Islanders.
Thank you very much.
That's Kameron Kielly guesting with us, and Inside the Islanders, I'm George Matthews.